Man, Debo, welcome back to the Shy.
Man, appreciate it.
It's been a minute. I'm sorry for this snow, man. That's why I'm out here bogus in these Solomons. This snow out there, but man, the city, we were so sad to see you leave. You know, we welcomed you as Chicago's home, but I'm happy to see you thriving back in your home state with a contending ball club.
Yeah,
so that's awesome, man.
Man, appreciate it, man. You already know, like, my time here, even like flying in this evening, it gave me like a nostalgic feeling. It made me feel like I was here like 10 years, you know, just landing and, you know, getting off the plane and, you know, driving into the city. You know, Chicago definitely will hold a special, you know, place in my heart because, like you said, the way everybody just embraced me right away, you know, like the aura of the sports element that Chicago have was one of a kind. The culture here was, you know, it was something that, you know, I fully embodied, you know, so it was special. It was definitely special.
I told you that from the jump, man. You are authentically really a representative of Chicago, so we always embrace you and forever. You forever fan.
Man, appreciate that.
So, and like I said, it's going to be a warm, welcoming 20-some thousand people at United Center tomorrow, bro. Happy to see you back.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, we sad to see you in the black and purple, of course, but we happy to see you. So, and you thrive and you happy, so that's what it's all about. I've seen since you've been in Sacramento a couple of career highs, just a couple games ago to 24,000 points.
Yeah.
That's quite a feat.
Yeah, man. How
does that feel?
It's you know, it's like every milestone you hit now, you kind of appreciate it a little bit more because you realize just how long you've been doing it, the longevity, the success, the sustainability, everything that comes with, you know, when you break records like that, you know, it hit different, especially when you see the names that's up there. So,
bro, you passed Charles Barkley. It's cementing you as a figure of immortality in basketball world. You know?
Yeah, and like, as a basketball guru and a fan of just the history of it, just to be in that, man, it's
30 players of ever,
and still have the opportunity to scoring. Yeah, you know what I mean. So that definitely means a lot, man.
And I want to say, I mean, you being such a versatile player and having such a long career, I think also is other categories. Assists, I think you're gonna be in the top.
That's what I'm saying. This is like
you passing cats who are known for assists.
For that,
and you being a scorer, having that many assists, so it's got to be a blessing, man. Congratulations on that. Are there some of the things when it comes to basketball culture that you notice in Sacramento that differences, similarities to Chicago?
I mean, it's just, you know, it's so crazy because one, for me, just growing up in LA, I remember those days when the Kings was battling the Lakers in the playoffs, you know, and sometimes you forget like that rivalry and you kind of forget that series of how much that changed so much stuff around.
That game 7 changed the trajectory of the Lakers and the Kings.
And the Kings, you know what I mean? And like to really understand like that historic part of it from the basketball culture. You know, it's crazy. Like, especially for me, I had an opportunity in my first couple of years of playing an old arena in Sac, you know, and I remember the cowbells and everything. So seeing fans come out now with the cowbells and, you know, so much of that stuff, like it's crazy. But you see how, you know, passionate the fans are, just like in Chicago. You know,
I want to say I noticed the similarities. I never mentioned this to you because it wasn't appropriate at the time when you were here in Chicago, but I have a connection to Sacramento. My dad's sister lived in Sacramento.
Really?
Yeah.
See,
so my aunt lived in Sacramento forever. Well, Sacramento, Roseville area, Rockland area. So coming up, I always brag about being a Bulls fan, and I tell my age when I say I'm a Bulls fan from the 80s and the 90s. But before the Bulls was World Championship Bulls, we would see the Bulls at Arco.
Oh, okay. All right,
the Bulls was always a hot ticket. You couldn't get a seat. So my dad would always say, "Oh, let me go see my sister. We gonna see the Bulls at Arco."
Oh, wow.
So I seen more Bulls games as a kid, honestly, at Arco than I did at Chicago Stadium in the United States.
Wow. See,
and then it got to the point where you couldn't even get Bulls tickets no more.
Wow.
Because they only come to Arco one time a year. So they wanted to see Mike. So then it became a point where we couldn't even see that. So my dad would just take me out to see random games at Arco.
Wow,
so that's my
crazy.
connection to the Kings. I never was a Kings fan per se, But I always embraced the baby blue and red because that's Chicago colors. So back when the team colors was baby blue and red, I repped it because it was Chicago.
That's crazy, yeah. Full circle.
So yeah, it's good to share that with you, man. And because of you, now I'm a fan of the ball club.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. That's why I said it's full circle, just how that all came around.
I'm a fan of the Kings now, bro, because you my man. I want to see you win.
Yeah, man, appreciate that, man.
Now, man, how you enjoying? Like, I know we had a real young squad here that you had the privilege of mentoring guys, and I'm sure, man, they hated to see you go, bro, because a lot of the guys looked up to you. How is it mentoring guys this stage of your career in Sacramento?
I mean, it's been great. Like I said, when you in that place of being an older statesman and, you know, the one a lot of young guys look up to, you know, you kind of appreciate that, and you want to give them the game as much as you can. You know what I mean? Even last night, was that dinner, I just remember talking to a couple of young guys and just telling them a lot of stuff, like, you know, that goes a long way when you're young and how fast a career could go by, you know, and you know, I love those moments now because you can see them grow. And even my time here, my 3 years here.
I'm seeing boys that learn from you the past 2 years, applying it this season.
You're applying it, and like, to me, that's what means the most. Even if they don't mention it or say it, you can see it. You know what I mean? You just want to see the growth, the experience, and everything that you share with them, that they just use it, you know, and that means everything to me.
That's awesome. Now, I know you being a multi-cultural person where you into music, sports, of course, fashion. Are there any things that you miss when it comes to Chicago culture?
Man,
I assume the food, of course.
For sure, for sure the food.
And then how does it compare to Sacramento?
See, the food, by far, you got to give Chicago the food. The options
we fatties.
Yeah, it's definitely that. The food is definitely top tier, and that's one thing I do miss a lot about you know, just Chicago. Similarities, like I said, the fans, the passion that the fans have is so unique, you know, and I've been blessed to have organizations I play for where fans is just crazy, and you know, I got to give it to, you know, Chicago. Obviously, when I'm playing in Toronto, but Chicago and Sac fans is nuts. Crazy.
Crazy about the ball club.
Yeah, like every sense of it, you know, and
when you look out there, I'm sure in Northern California, it's a lot of pretty fans too.
Yeah, it's epic,
man. A lot of pretty faces to look at.
everything out there. So it's cool. So, you know, those two similarities definitely go hand in hand, especially when, you know, being a hooper, man. That's what you want to be around.
Now, I remember when you was here, I felt like Chicago embraced you so much. I know you listen to like old school R&B and you work out to that, but you was getting into drill music, Chicago drill. You was down with the. Are there any artists and any cultural figures of Sacramento? Any artists that you see that's dope? You check it for? You haven't checked them all the way yet?
What's crazy? Like, I always used to listen to Mozzie, but it's like, being in Sac now, listen to Mozzie, it hit a little different. You know what I mean? Like,
it's real.
It's real and everything. So I think.
So you really in the city.
Yeah, you're really there. You know what I mean?
So you embrace the town.
You feel it. The same way I did here. Just so many Chicago artists that I was listening to when I was here, and it hit different when you hear. And the same with Sac. So for sure, Mozzie, listen to Mozzie, and obviously the whole Bay Area. Me being from Cali, already been hip to it. So
that's what's up. You got a chance to hit the beam?
I got a couple times.
How was that opportunity?
Man, it was cool. It was real cool, man. You know, the cool thing about it now is like, you know, my daughters and my son, like they look forward to it.
Okay,
you know what I mean? So
I know your daughter. She was a part of the team.
Yeah.
That was the opponent free throw
killer. Yep.
Has she been able to get loud? And
they've been there and get loud, and you know, they love it. You know what I mean?
Awesome,
and that's the cool thing about it too. Like, the kids be so involved in it, especially after you win, when they light the beam and see it. Like, even
I appreciate that about Sacramento.
Yeah, and
y'all celebrate it.
Yeah, and it's a cool thing. Like, it's cool. You leave an arena.
The franchise deserves.
For sure.
Some real winning.
And
that's what you're going to bring.
And that's one thing I want to bring. That's one thing I want to bring. So it's so dope because I could be 15, 20 minutes past outside the arena heading home. I can look in the rearview mirror and still see the beam. You know what I mean? Little stuff like that. It's cool. It's real cool.
Live. Now, are there any things that like superstitious things that you picked up here in Chicago? Any, I don't know, just any slang, anything that you think you picked up from Chicago you was able to implement in SAC? And is anything from SAC that you noticing locally that now you implement in your lifestyle or in your game? I'm just trying to think of how the cities affect you.
Let me see. I think more so than anything, catching on to like the little lingo and slang from Chicago. Like, if I hear it like back home in Sac or in Cali, like
Chicago.
You know right away. You know what I mean? Or certain words or that could be said in Chicago. If somebody used it there, I know what it means if a Chicago person said. But a Cali person said, like, it's two different things. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I've been noticing a lot lately.
And I know on the fashion side, bro, you stay drip.
Yeah.
You stay with the sneakers. Is it still Kobe's every game?
Oh yeah, it's until I retire. It's gonna be Kobe.
So you brought that. I saw you went back to number 10.
Yeah.
So that's good. Yeah. Let me ask this. Something here in Chicago I noticed always where I felt like if the first quarter or the first half didn't go as you wanted, you might switch your shoes.
Yeah,
I still switch your shoes.
You know, it's crazy. I did it last night. Yeah.
Okay.
We was playing in Boston.
And that brought the win.
Yeah, it brought the win. Yeah, that's crazy. A lot of people. I don't think a lot of people in probably SAC caught on to that yet. But last night,
when you told me when we did the Chicago Zone feature, you was like, "Oh, you peeped that?"
Yeah. So yeah, that's crazy. I did that last night. Chicago game, struggling the first half, and I was like, Superstition kicked in, changed shoes.
And I figured Superstition, but from Chicago, we like to stunt.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of stunting.
Oh, yeah, it's a little flex. It's a little flex too. Especially
with flex too.
It's a real flex, especially in a game where somebody on the other team notice it. Like, man, you changed your shoes. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's for sure flex.
That's awesome, man. Well, it seems to be that you really having a great time in SAC, man. I'm happy to see you back here. Trust me, man. We're gonna welcome you with a super warm applause tomorrow, man. But I hope you don't get the W tomorrow, though, but you will. Sorry. So, I told them that I felt like I met you in Toronto 2016.
Yeah, All-Star, yeah.
It was like a dinner.
Yeah, sure was. Yep, we was all there.
So I felt like that's where I first met you. But I felt like I had already met you
Yeah.
because I was so familiar with you. And while I messed with you so much, and I always felt like you just seemed like such a humble character. Like I was hesitant to speak to you. And you was like, what up, bro?
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, nice to meet you, bro. And I've been nothing but a fan since, bro. Like I have to say, your pedigree is top tier from a professional standpoint, from a cultural standpoint, from just being a dope individual, man. You're top tier, man, in every category.
Appreciate that, and that's crazy you brought that up. I remember that because even in that moment, All-Star Weekend, Toronto.
16, that was 16.
Yeah, it was 16, and it was a cool moment because even in that moment, I always, was familiar, always was a fan, always had the clothes, the hats, and all that. So I just remember that moment to where when I did come to Chicago, it was like I already had known you for a long period of time, man, you know what I mean?
I felt happy you was here, bro. I ain't been happy about a Bulls acquisition in a long time.
But that go back to just the embracement that I got coming here. It was just like,
absolutely, bro.
So it meant a lot.
Nothing but love. And now that you even signed with a new ball club, we still,
man,
like it don't stop. Chicago people, we show love regardless, bro.
Without a doubt.
It's still love.
But that's the crazy thing. It's like even now, so many people I run into that was Chicago fans forever see me still treated like, you know what I mean? And that's the love and that's the appreciation.
Still rep for you, bro. And you know I feel like the politics of the NBA or teams make it seem like it's not love between organizations, but we know it is.
Oh
and
yeah,
I like that he's showing that.
Man, look, I still got a house here, so
absolutely,
it's
bro.
still love,
all
for sure.
day. Man, well, thank you for this time that you gave me. I appreciate you letting me link up with you here
before
the game, bro. You know, I'm gonna continue to rep you, be a fan of what you're doing, and rooting for you winning, man. So thank you for this time, and I hope you continue to win in Sacramento.
Appreciate you.
All day.
Appreciate you.
My brother.
My dog.